Do you know of a stellar leader or an outstanding organization that deserves a proper shout-out? Nominate them for IBJ's awards. From 40 in their 40s and Women of Influence to Nonprofit and Healthcare Excellence Awards, we're celebrating rising stars, seasoned leaders, and organizations making a difference. Discover which programs are accepting nominations now at ibj.com/nominate.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for Tuesday, March 10th. 2026. I'm Gary Dick. Microsoft is planning to break ground on its planned data center campus in Granger next month. County officials say the campus will have 6 data center buildings and employ about 300 people. Microsoft is not asking for tax abatement on the project and says it will pay full property taxes with a percentage supporting the Penn Harris Madison School Corporation, the county library, and county and local governments. A popular seafood truck made its debut in Mishawaka over the weekend, drawing long lines and curious diners eager to try authentic Maine lobster. California-based Cousins Maine Lobster is expanding into the northern Indiana market with a locally operated food truck run by brothers-in-law Hussein Karani and Al Obeid. The debut marks the brand's first dedicated presence in the South Bend Elkhart market.
This is something I'm venturing into, diving into. I was a police officer, a deputy sheriff before stepping into this. And, my brother-in-law and I kind of just wanted something to, call ours and start for us and build something for our futures and the futures of our families and children. I mean, you don't see a lot of, quality Maine lobster in many places, right? In Indiana or a lot, even in the Midwest in general, you know what I mean? And so it just felt like such a good idea. And, a few months later, we kind of showed interest and, filled out a form online saying that we were interested in franchising. And, the rest was history. We loved the company, the way they treat you, the way they talk to people. It truly is like a family.
Indiana University has selected 15 rural Indiana organizations to participate in this year's effort to create new placemaking and public art elements in the greater Bloomington area. The Rural Placemaking Studio enables students majoring in comprehensive design and graphic design partner with rural communities to design public spaces that celebrate local identity and strengthen community connections through art. Chuck Binkard, who stepped away from the board of the Greene County Economic Growth Council after more than a decade to assume the role of its executive director, will retire from the job later this year. His July 1 planned departure will conclude the 2-year commitment he made to lead the organization. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. As the U.S. Department of Justice investigates possible price fixing in the egg industry, lawsuits are piling up against Seymour-based Roseacre Farms and the nation's other top egg producers in federal courts across the Midwest. In the U.S. District Court of Southern Indiana alone, consumers, egg processors, and retailers have filed 6 lawsuits since November against Roseacre and the 4 other top egg producers. The complaints allege the producers manipulated the market to raise prices to a record high average of $6.23 a dozen for grade A large eggs in March of 2025. The National Weather Service and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, have named Greene County General Hospital as a Weather Ready Nation Ambassador. It's a program that promotes accurate weather safety messaging and emergency preparedness. Greene County General now joins a nationwide network of businesses, health systems, and government agencies focused on protecting lives and property. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Stay ahead with Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand, your go-to source for the latest business news across the Hoosier State. Join hosts Gary Dick and Alex Brown every weekday morning and afternoon for concise updates on Indiana's top business stories. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
Your commute just got smarter. Turn drive time into growth time. The IBJ Media Podcast Network gives you front row access to leaders shaping Indiana's economy, culture, and future. No filler, just smart, relevant, local storytelling you won't get anywhere else. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.